lot of stuff happening with China. Okay, there's a liquidity event happening right now. China is making it easy for now security firms, funds to borrow money and to buy stocks. Basically, China is going all out. They removed their half the reserve requirement for banks to lend out. Now they're going to allow firms to go borrow money directly from their central bank to go buy stocks with, right? Like basically what they're trying to do is start up the economy in a big way. This is a giant liquidity event. We have seen several of these before. Last time was probably 2020 and 2021 when the U.S. injected all this money with stimulus checks into the economy, right? China and others kind of did the same thing, the rate cuts. But now they're doing more. They are just going all out, right? And whenever we have liquidity events like this, it's generally a pretty good thing for assets like Bitcoin. Okay, today was the second best day for Chinese markets. And again, when you have these kind of big liquidity events, they are absolutely fantastic. Why is that? Well, because when the money's flowing, people are making money. They tend to put money elsewhere, right? They put it into assets that appreciate, like Bitcoin. I mean, there's no better asset to put money into right now. Okay, really. Like, you guys know I've been talking about Bitcoin for so long, right? And, it's not just me that notice all these things. All these other institutions and countries and banks and everyone else in between, they're starting to realize the same thing. So they're all making plans on adopting or growing or buying or providing services. It's all coming. It's all coming. Right? The world's largest custodian bank, BNY Mellon, is close to rolling out custody service for spot Bitcoin ETFs. That's great, but you know what's even better? What about just allowing banks to be custody of physical Bitcoin, or just digital Bitcoin, physical digital Bitcoin rather than Bitcoin ETFs? In fact, that is what's happening right now. 42 Congress members wrote and demanded Gary Gensler to allow banks to custody Bitcoin. Like, why not? Why not? And Gary Gensler got grilled again today. Basically, no one likes the SEC because of Gary Gensler. He got grilled by, was it Thomas Emmer? Basically, he was just making stuff up. He made stuff up, like crypto asset securities, which doesn't even belong in the rule book, and they had to apologize for it because basically Gary said everything is a security. Everything is a security, and now it's proven that not everything is a security, or his definitions are wrong. And he was just, he's just like judge, jury, and executioner, right? Like he had no oversight, but now that's no longer the case because he's losing a case after case after case. And it's become embarrassing. It's costing taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars. And finally, Congress is starting to realize that this guy's no good. Anyways, he's on his way out and he knows, right? So basically, it's a good day. It's a good day for crypto overall. I'm not saying there's the SEC should probably look at a lot of these bad projects, but he was just attacking all the wrong projects. Trying to attack all the good ones instead of the bad ones, which made no sense, right? Trying to set a precedent when he didn't need to, especially with the good projects. But anyways, Gary is feeling the heat and he's on his way out. And like I said, everyone wants a piece of Bitcoin. So soon, all the major banks out there will act like custodians. Okay, whether you really wanted the banks to be custodian for your bank for your Bitcoin, that's a different story. I would say no. Self custody is always best, but still, the ability to be able to do so would be absolutely fantastic. And there's probably a lot of institutional investors or just like public trade companies or even small businesses, right? The ones that are scared for security. Maybe they want to do it. And of course, BlackRock, still bullish. You got Robbie Mitchneck, who is head of digital assets BlackRock, says Bitcoin is an emerging global monetary alternative, a scarce global decentralized non-sovereign asset. That's right. To put it in a nutshell, that's right. Non-sovereign is important. Very, very important, because that means there's no country on the planet that owns or controls or can stop Bitcoin. That's important. That's very important. There's no other asset on the planet that's like that. Every other form of money is controlled by someone that can take it away or shut it down or lock you out. But they can't do that with Bitcoin. That in itself is worth an infinite amount of money if you think about it. There's nothing else on the planet that's like that. Nothing else. Only Bitcoin. Just take a second to compute that, how valuable that in itself is. And outside of that, ETFs, of course, continue to inflow. That's always good. But now we got options. Besides IBIT, take in 20 plus billion worth of Bitcoin. Now there's going to be options based on IBIT. So if you think you want more leverage, it's coming. It's coming. You can officially trade options soon of IBIT shares, right? They don't allow options trading of Bitcoin directly, but it's the same thing. If you think Bitcoin's going to go up, then you can speculate long on IBIT, or you can go to short side, but so that's also coming. We're having a ton of derivatives. I don't know if derivatives is actually what we want more of, but it's coming. Again, everyone wants a piece. Whales are loading up on Bitcoin right now. 2 whales have withdrawn 219 million from Binance in the last 12 hours. I can't confirm or deny if I'm one of those 2 whales. But nevertheless, that is a whole lot being removed from circulation and from the exchanges. The exchange reserves continue to go down and down and down and down and down and down. Now, we are still in September. Remember what I said at the beginning of September. Even though we started out bad, I did tell you guys, just because September is a historically bad month for Bitcoin does not mean we will end this month in red. I said the big catalyst is going to be the FOMC meeting. And so far, I am right. We still have a week left. Maybe we do see a downturn. But right now, it's looking like all signs are pointing upwards. And this is showing that, yeah, there has been Septembers where we saw green. And what follows Q4, you get more green. In 2015, we saw a 2.35% return in September. But then we had 81% return in Q4. 2016, we saw 6%, and then we got 58% return. Last year, we saw a 2.91%, and then we saw a 57% return in Q4. Are we going to see a 57% return in Q4? Quite possibly, especially if we end in the green this month. And it's looking very, very likely that that's going to happen.